Well, we were in the Kalahari, and we stopped for a night in this camp, and we were all having dinner, and then the guides we heard these birds making a bit of a noise, and the guides all turned to each other and said, that's an alarm call. There'll be a leopard out there. And then we heard the sound of the leopard. They have this kind of this noise. It's like a saw. It's like they're cutting wood. And and we heard that out in the darkness. And the guys just got up and said, "Everybody, stay still." And they jumped up and they ran to the van and they got a spotlight and just ping, turned on the light. And just walking out of the jungle, there was this leopard. And it was in the light, and we were right there, and it paid absolutely no attention to us. It was king of the jungle, king of the Kalahari. It didn't give a damn about us being there. Walked on down, and then just passed, and we were all sort of going, absolutely stunned with excitement and thrilled and exhilarated, and your adrenaline's going, and I was sort of looking around like this at this leopard, and it just sort of strolls past and then just disappears off into the darkness. And of course, none of us had our cameras there, and none of us was ready to take a photo because we were eating dinner, and so we just sort of we put all of our attention on this amazing cat. And it was astonishing, and then the guide said, as we were going to bed that night, they said, well, there's a very good chance that this leopard is going to come back into the camp, so whatever you do tonight, don't leave your tent. It doesn't matter how badly you need to go to the loo, you're not to leave your tent. So we all went to bed. Then it was about 11 o'clock or something like that, and the moon's up. Fortunately, it started to cool down because the Kalahari is so hot and so dry. But at night time, the temperature really drops, and you're lying in bed, and we heard this sound, which was like it was kind of like a purr, but kind of like a growl as well. So imagine a purr from a 100-kilogram cat, and it was right next to the tent. And I'm travelling with my mother, and she just grabbed my hand and hung onto it. My God, in a complete panic. And we heard this, and there's this layer of cloth that thick between you and the sound of this leopard, and it's prowling around, going round and round and round. And then it has this second part to the sound, which is just, I don't know how to describe it. It's really, really weird. They have this grrr, and then it sounds like a turkey drowning in its own blood or something. It goes, and I heard that, and I thought it sounded like it sounded almost like someone was sort of crying out for help, and my heart just went at 1,000,000 miles an hour, and adrenaline flooded my body, and I was lying there going, "We're not allowed to leave the tent. We're not allowed to leave the tent. Someone's being murdered right there by a leopard right next to us." And but then I thought, no, there was silence after that. So I thought, no, that's got to be the sound that a leopard makes. The most extraordinary thing, this kind of. So, if you're ever in the bush and you hear that sound, stay in your tent, or you'll probably end up getting eaten by a leopard. Cheers.
Thank you.